The face-to-face peace talks between the government delegation and Dr. Machar's team were expected to take off today as soon as two chief mediators appointed to arbitrate in the South Sudan crisis returned to Addis Ababa. But the two mediators, Lazarus Sumbeiywo and Seyum Mesfin, were still in Juba, holding a series of meetings with President Salva Kiir in an attempt to establish a roadmap for a ceasefire in South Sudan. At the Sheraton Addis Hotel, the venue of the peace talks, the opposing delegation spent the day formulating positions they will advance when the peace talks resume as soon as the two mediators are back.
Then we will convene to discuss the cessation of hostilities. And if no more problems, then ultimately we are likely to sign it at any time.
But Dr. Machar's team, that includes Mabior Garang, son of John Garang, who until his demise was the face of liberation in South Sudan, insists that negotiations will only make sense if the 12 political detainees who were apprehended by the Juba administration just before violence broke out are released.
If we are looking for solutions, we cannot look for solutions outside of the context of what created the problem. So part of these people being in jail is part of the problem, and like their dispute with the president because of their accusation of him being more dictatorial is part of the problem. So they also have to be part of the solution.
We believe that this solution is not going to be solved militarily. It requires a political solution, and therefore the need for the government to give this peace process a chance.
The government delegation in the peace talks insists that it will not negotiate with any preconditions and that release of the political detainees must follow the due process.
The government, we are optimistic that we'll be in a position to sign the cessation of hostility soon, so that we stop this fighting and death which is happening to our people and destruction of property which is happening in the Republic of South Sudan.
The team representing Dr. Machar, who was President Kiir's deputy until the two fell out in June last year, insists that he is not a rebel and that forces loyal to him were fighting what they termed violation of the constitution of the country's ruling party SPLM that is chaired by the president.
The chairman of the SPLM, Comrade Salva Kiir, illegally dissolved the structures of the SPLM. He has violated the constitution and so of the party by dissolving the structures, which is not his powers to do so. It's only the National Convention that can dissolve the structures. So in that kind of picture, who has rebelled?
The government delegation in the peace talks is led by Nial Deng Nial, while Dr. Machar's team is led by General Taban Deng. The two mediation teams in the South Sudan crisis remain cautiously optimistic that a solution will be found sooner than later. However, the question is, how much are they willing to give and take in the search of a solution in the youngest nation in the African continent? Francis Gachuri, Citizen Live at 9, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.